Hey guys, how's it going? Happy Friday or Thursday, wherever you are. So today's a little early for me. I decided to just knock out some streaming, and then yeah, so I can enjoy my night later on. How are you all doing? Mountain Goat, Music, hello. Sorry, my chat thing isn't working. Hey Sheev, how are you doing? Mr. Papa Palps. Heads and Fails Musique, how's it going? Alright, so today we're going to do some Grand Arena. I did want to talk about fleets real quick before we jump into things. Hey, thanks for subscribing, Rubberlin. So I did make this, and I wanted to talk to you guys about it. I was going to make a video on it, but decided not to publish a video on it. I just want to talk about fleets and how I did it, because I non-bald captain. Yeah. Hey Bash, how's it going? So I want to talk about fleets and what you guys do for fleets as well. So I made kind of like my thoughts on heavy offense and heavy defense as far as how fleets go. So I do heavy defense, and I do it this way. So Leviathan, Executor, and then you can substitute Malevolence or Radis. I prefer personally to use Radis because I like having Malevolence as a cleanup fleet. I do think Malevolence will probably get better banners, but sometimes Radis can get you like a sneaky hold where Malevolence I feel is going to get beat pretty easy. The reason I like this, and if you look, the reinforcements are a little weird. Sometimes people will do this for Leviathan, and I feel like if you do this, or sometimes they like shove all their Sith in here or something. I don't know. Sometimes I see like 4 reinforcements. But if you have 2 reinforcements here, most people are probably going to assume that you have this variant out here. But I feel like it's okay. It does okay on defense. It's 100% going to lose to the mirror, which almost always you'll lose to the mirror. They would have to play it really horribly to do that. But the version I have on here is a variant that's going to beat Profundity, and that's why I set this on defense. And the reason I don't have just this guy by himself is if you do that, then they know 100% that you have the Scimitar here instead of the Mark 6 Sith Fighter. So if you have Raven's Claw, it has a lower reinforcement priority, so Scimitar will always come out first, and then Raven's Claw will usually probably not even be a reinforcement. But that's the variant I like, so I can get a sneaky hold with Leviathan. Executor, same thing here. The IG 2000 and the Xanadu Blood have the same reinforcement. So if you do this, you have to make sure that you put Xanadu Blood first, because it's going to go in reinforcement order of how you place it. So if you're sloppy and you put IG 2000 here, then IG 2000 will reinforce first. So that's why I recommend having this. And then the reason you want Xanadu Blood is it gives your whole team reinforcement, and you get to your payouts a lot quicker. So yeah, that's what I do. And then if you do that on defense, then offense is where it gets a little weirder. Triple attacker, I thought about it, but I honestly think this is the better defense than triple attacker. Because triple attacker is going to lose to negotiator probably no matter what. But Triple attacker can also be burned pretty easily, where if you do a burner on this version of Executor, then first turn you put the taunt on Houndstooth, and that can mess it up. So 100% I told you guys how to burner and then take out the punishing one, where if you do that, if you burn this, it still puts taunt on Houndstooth, which makes it a lot harder to kill that punishing one. And I just think this is the superior one, because you can get that first turn Xanadu, or the second turn Xanadu Blood with Retribution, and it gets you to contract a lot quicker, in my opinion. So I do like this. I like facing triple attacker. When I see triple attacker, I think it's a lot easier of a win than this version, which I usually see this version on defense. But whatever you want to do. And then you can do, it's the same thing, Galactic, I'll talk about it here. So with this, and the reason I have this is, most people put their Executor and Leviathan on defense, but if you go with this variant, then it messes up their offense, because you have to take endurance on this Leviathan, and then for this Executor you have to use the Executrix. You can't use Galactic Republic because you have to use Galactic Republic up here if they scouted and they know what's going on. If they don't scout, they're just gonna throw Profundity at this and lose, and then maybe then they'll use their endurance, and it forces that Executrix counter for Executor, and a lot of people just aren't as skilled in that. So that's why I have this variant here. I just think it's it's not always going to get hold. Sometimes you're going to have people that could just beat it. But as far as like the best defense you can have, I do think it's this variant right here. It's up to you. Like, you can go with a normal Leviathan, and sometimes I switch it up too. If I think my opponent has this scimitar on defense, then I take it on offense to use with my Profundity. So this is what I was saying with the Profundity. So this is the you kind of mirror whatever the Leviathan has. If the Leviathan has the Mark 6, then you use the Mark 6. If the Leviathan has the scimitar, then you use the scimitar, and that's just how this counter works. And then you have the mirror here. So triple attacker or Houndstooth starting. So both of these are very reliable. So you bring all, so you can do that, but I feel like having the Executor on offense, I think isn't as good as having it on defense, in my opinion, because you can easily beat your opponent if you go heavy offense. If you bring the Leviathan, the Profundity, and then Galactic Republic, that's just as reliable. And you don't have to do any weirdness, because the mirror for Executor is horrible, right? And Profundity can't beat the Executor. So the best counter for Executor is probably this Galactic Republic for heavy offense. So that's why I'm saying, like, if you're going heavy offense, take your Leviathan, take your Profundity, and take your Galactic Republic. You'll still have Empire for, hey fishies, you'll still have Empire for your cleanups. And then you'll be able to have your Executor, Resistance, and Malevolence are just trash that are just going to be placeholders. You had a review back in my 8-hour stream in August. Hey, Sauron, how's it going? Nice. Thank you for the donation. Once I'm done talking about fleets, I'll start your review. But heavy offense, this is what I think is better. Like, take Executor, still leave it on defense, because there's always the chance that whatever they throw at Executor is going to lose. Where if you go heavy offense and you bring your Executor here, then you're going to have to like Executor their Leviathan and Leviathan their Executor. And I just don't think that's good. Like, I just don't like it. I would rather not do that personally. And then Profundity you should always bring on offense. You can mirror, take out trash, Galactic Republic, whatever they throw on there. But this is, I personally go heavy defense. Heavy offense is fine too, but I don't think taking triple, like all 3 GL ships on offense is the move. I've seen people do it, but It's weird because you have to like swap the Leviathan and the executor. And if someone has like a baller executor, then you're gonna struggle. Because here, let's see if this guy's here. Where is he at? I keep wanting to face this guy, but he's and it never lines up. Is he behind me again? Man, he is. He's 14. Three GL fleets. So this is what I'm saying for 3 GL fleets. I don't think heavy defense for 3 GL fleets is good. I don't think it's good. I would rather have believe it or not, I would rather have the malevolence on defense than the profundity. I just don't believe the profundity on defense is very good. It has many counters. A lot of people know. Oh, you're an Erodium. Yeah. Oh, fishies. Yeah. I don't think the profundity, like the profundity does so much on offense, but on defense, like Executrix beats it, Malevolence beats it. So there's a lot of counters that are like super cheap. That's why I don't think the profundity on defense as the third ship adds very much. Hey Andrus, how's it going? So I personally think if you're going to go with a heavy defense, this is what you should do. Leviathan, Executor, and maybe Malevolence. Or you can go Radis, whatever you want. Radis loses really badly to Chimera, where Malevolence always has a better chance to like clean up. But I like Malevolence on offense because it's actually a really great cleanup fleet. So I'd rather just have that on offense and just put Radis in here. I get holds on my Radis sometimes, believe it or not. Just because they run into trouble with Leviathan or Executor, or they use their best ships for Leviathan and Executor, and they have like a Malevolence and it just doesn't play as well. Well, you can learn fishies. I learned most of my fleets through believe it or not, through Grand Arena and TW. So I'll play maybe a couple in Fleet Arena when I got my new fleets, and then I watched a Bit Dynasty video, and then that's it. Like I watched a Bit Dynasty video, he tells me the mechanics, and then I learn it, and that's it. So his videos are really great for that. Yeah. I will say that these counters do require like knowing the counter. Hey, Dirk Heiser. Yeah, Bit Dynasty is the best for learning fleets. It's just the best. So, but that's what I do. You guys can do whatever you want. But if you're throwing triple GL ships on defense, I think it's a bit of a waste, and it's not gonna do much for you. That like triple GL ships is gonna hold as much as double GL ships. All right, Saran DeSantis, how are you doing today? Erodium 4 in the Xylox crew. Okay. 8.3 million GP, almost 8.4, 5.3 characters, 3 in ships. You've been playing for a year and a half. 4 GLs. I'll say this. I wouldn't recommend R8ing GLs until you have all the GLs. And then you can slowly start bringing up the relics. But R7's fine for 95% of the content. You just need your higher relics for like TB. And then on defense, if you have higher relics, it does make your GLs like have more of a chance to hold. But otherwise, I don't think it's worth it. So you do have Gungans, Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, Ezra Bridger Exile, phenomenal character. You don't have GL Ahsoka, so you only have the one Omicron, which is fine. You don't need all 3. Captain Enoch Omicron, that's pretty interesting. Territory battles. So hear me out. TB Omicrons are not worth it. Like, they're just not worth it. They're really not. Some people have an argument for possibly doing Merrick's for the Inquisitors, just because it makes everything so easy. You can pretty much auto, and then a lot of people have higher level relics on their Inquisitor, so they do that. You like TB? I like TB too. I love TB. But you just don't need the Omicrons, because if you look at it, there's only so many nodes, and once you get all the GLs, like for the most part, all your GLs do all the nodes. So, you know, like all these things, you use GLs to do them. So when you have all the GLs, which you will sooner or later, most of those TB, and like, come on, especially Darkside, like Darkside Imperial Remnant, are you really gonna use that here? You know what I mean? Compared to what you have, I don't know. I just can't see Fat Phil. This isn't. I'm not gonna comment on what Fat Phil does or does not do or have, but I just think it's a waste. I think it's 100% a waste. There's much better Omicrons out there than TB Omicrons. And especially at R7, like if you had like R9, right, like full R9 teams, and you threw a Omicron on that team, and it allows you to auto all 6 phases up to R9 phases, then yeah, I could understand that. So it's hardly even worth it. It's hardly worth it. 341k here. If you start getting up into higher, like 500, you know, it's nothing. Like you get a lot of your points just from fleets. Like you want to do better in TB, then get all the fleets. Like you get all the fleets, then you can start pumping up some like high numbers. This one is really easy if you don't even need his Omicrons. You just use Ezra Bridger here. Ezra Bridger here with JML Shock and then another Jedi, and that easily beats this node, which is worth 1 million. So you get 1 million here, you can get 680 here, you can get like millions in these, like, and you can, Profundity beats all these, Executor beats all these, Leviathan beats this. If you have Marauder, it's a little more reliable to beat this one with the Negotiator. Darkside's kind of a wash, but Leviathan can beat these if you get lucky. So, yeah. That's all I'm saying, is if you want to be better at TB, you will over time, but the greatest impact you can do is getting Mandalore, so getting Bo-Katan Mandalore, and then getting Jedi Knight Cal Kestis to get Zepho. After that, you can get all the fleets. If you have all the fleets, then you start getting like special missions that will give you extra points. So, you know, like an easy one here is clones. So if you have all R7 or R8 clones, then you can beat this Clone Trooper one pretty easy. What else do we have here? So there's Night Sisters. Night Sisters has this one for R7s for all our Night Sisters. This one's pretty easy to do if you bought the certain pack. I do this one to get some I use Rey here with the required characters, and then I think Cat and Ezra Bridger again. It's like full auto. So if you start doing all these special missions, and then if you have all the special missions, you have all the unlocks, you have all the fleets, then you can start working on like, okay, just normal combat missions, because normal combat missions aren't very important. So something to think about. I'm just saying, if you like TB, that should be your priority for TB. Zepho unlock, Mandalore unlock, special missions that give you currencies, then the ships, then the ships and special missions are kind of like depending, because it does help you do a lot of the unlocks. Like my guild gets like I don't know, 41 42 stars or something normally, and we go all the way up here, and I think like 11 of us or something, or 20 or something, have to beat this, and then we do the platoons, and that's how we get a star up here. So, you know, you just gotta, you just need the executor pretty much to do that. So it just depends on what your guild's doing, but it's not like the biggest deal in the world. But if you want to be better at TB, that's the focus. And then full relic teams, high relic teams are important too, but you can kind of like pair those with raids. So try to get like, if you really like TB and you really want it to be, you know, like a baller in it, then get all the raids, get your raid characters up and running. It kind of like goes into it hand in hand, so you can be in a guild that like does well in TB. Also will probably do well in raids, because if you get all R9 teams for the raid, then you can start using them through all the phases to pretty much go up. Like Gungans were a great R9 team for that. Quadme, whatever, you know, just like full R9 functional teams can really help out here at the higher levels. R7 will take you for the majority of TB for most lower end guilds. Something to think about. But as far as the platoons, yeah, platoons are most important, obviously, but that's like shared. So platoons are absolutely the priority. I'm just saying, as if you want to play TB, then that's where your priorities are. But obviously the highest priority in TB is to get the platoons. Like that's hands down. Your guild wants to get through it, but you can't do that yourself. It's a team effort, and you guys have to like share the burden. Like I have an R9 star killer for platoons, so you know, you gotta take one for the team. But Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, that's good. You don't have Bo-Katan Mandalore as far as I can see. I would start looking at when you're going to do that, so you can unlock Mandalore for your guild. You're at 8 million GP. You should be at the point where you're considering like, hey, when is your guild going to start unlocking Mandalore? And she's a fantastic character. Overall, just an excellent character. Hey, you're wailing out on these Empire troops, on these clone troopers. That's pretty good. And you said you're going to buy the Lord Vader bundle, so yeah, this will be fantastic. You'll want to put the Zetas and stuff on these guys, probably the Omicrons on the GAC ones, and you'll be cooking on that one. So that's really good. I don't whale out on shards, so I'm slowly gonna get them up whenever they become farmable. But if you do, then they were one of the ones to do it for, because they're just really good. Alright, where's he at? Tarkin. Okay, I think he comes in the bundle, right? Like at R7 or something. So that's good. You'll want to get him up, and you'll want his Zetas too. Obviously, your priority is going to be Lord Vader, and then the rest of the clones, and then Tarkin after that. And that'll be great for your raid participation too. You'll want to get the clones in him at least to R7. Will be decent. You maybe higher if you want to. Bad Batch. I would farm these Bad Batch. Like you're just farm the shards, and you're going to get these up and running. I would say would be my recommendation for the new Bad Batch. Like it sucks you're gonna have one team, but even if you R9'd that one team, that's only, you know, what, 3.6 million GP or 3.6 million raid participation. So you need more depending on what your guild's doing, and I doubt 3.6 is going to be good enough. And if it is good enough and you're wailing out on the new clones, I would say you should be in a better guild, because this is not so you need raid participation to, you know, advance your account. Just start farming the shards, get them up and running, relic 7, relic 5, whatever, but I think they're going to be worthwhile for having for the raid, and they're the only thing that's literally farmable right now for that raid. And I think that raid is going to be painful. It's going to be a very painful raid for everyone. So if you're not farming what can be farmed, then you're going to be hurting. There's a lot of stuff here that's on the bottom of your roster that is very, very, like, very good. So, Star Killer, Iden's decent, especially for a ship. Nihilus, Savage, Malgus, Malicos, Jocasta Nu, kind of, and then the Mandalorians. All and Cat. You don't really have the, what do you call it, JMK, so I understand why you don't have Cat up and running. Okay, so I get you have to prioritize what you can, right? But this is a lot that's just like at the bottom of your roster that is exceptional characters. Very, very good. So you have to go for Lord Vader. So finish Leia, finish Lord Vader. Farm the shards for Bad Batch. Get that up and running. Get your raid participation. Once you're finished with your raid participation, go for Bo-Katan Mandalore. I would not, Sauron. I would not. Like, Cat, I would prioritize it when you get JMK, but your priority right now is what I just said, like Leia, Lord Vader, raid participation, then you're going to go for Bo-Katan Mandalore. After Bo-Katan Mandalore, and you have your raid participation, you have more flexibility to do whatever you want. So if you want to go for, like, Cat, you can. But honestly, I would rather you have Terran Malicos than Cat, even for Rey. Like, Rey, you just need pretty much light side unaligned force users. You don't need Cat in there. She boosts the offense, but I don't think I would. R7 Cal Kestis, that's wild. All right, so Rey, Cal Kestis, Ben, and then you're going to throw in Ezra Bridger. You don't really need Cat in there to do anything, in my opinion. I would rather you build your Malgus, believe it or not, or your Terran Malicos, or even your Jocasta Nu for the raid. And that may sound wild because people are like, Commander Ahsoka Tano is so great, and yeah, she is in a JMK team. Other than that, she's not like game changing. You can throw in a Padme squad. Yeah, you can throw her in the Rey squad, but I just don't think it's that important. Like, yeah, I have mine in my raid, Rey squad, because I'm getting the light side unaligned force user one. But would I go out of my way with your roster to get her up? No, I don't think I would. I would rather have Bo-Katan Mandalore. Honestly, I'd rather have Terran Malicos, Malgus, Jocasta Nu is like, you know, just raid participation. We'd have to see what she can get with, like, the junk. And you'd probably need Caloran Beck, which would be good when you get Bo-Katan Mandalore if he's in there. Hey, Alan, what's the one you want for Ezra? It's the one that gives him more stacks. Which one? Is it Kanan's Legacy? Yeah, this one. Kanan's Legacy. 25 stacks of Purgle Migration. That's the one you'll want. So, this 25 stacks of Purgle Migration, it may not seem like a lot, but you need him to get to 50 stacks as soon as possible. So it's a big deal. I think it's worth it. All the Omicrons are good, but that's the only one that really affects him until you get GL Ahsoka. Alright, Dengar. Wild. Wild. So yeah. Sith too? Like, where's your Traya? Where's your Traya? Where's Traya? You don't even have her unlocked. I'm sure you have her. You just don't have it unlocked. So Savage, Nihilus, Traya, even at gear 12, like if you gear 12 Savage, Nihilus, Traya and throw their Omicrons on them, that's practically free. You want them at relics. especially Savage. But if you like Gear 12 Nihilus, Gear 12 Treya, and Relic Savage, you could even throw that in defense in 5s or 3s. No time for Treya. There is always time for Treya. Always. I understand you have like a ton, but they're free. They're practically free. Their gear is so old. There's no Chirotech. Absolutely no Chirotech needed. You just... Gear 12. Believe it or not. Gear 12 Treya, Gear 12 Nihilus. You can Relic Savage if you want to Relic 5. And that's all you'll need to... And throw them on defense. You don't even have to mod them well. You don't even have to mod them well. Their kits are just so strong that they require like specific counters. Old gear crunch. So you're not in an old gear crunch, believe it or not. You're not. You're not. Here, I'll show you. Like, I have no old gear, like practically nothing. Look, 8 of these. Where am I at? 148.55. Like 8 of these, 31 of these, 76 of these, 25 of these, 76, 32 of these, you know, 15 of these. But do I say I am in an old gear crunch? No, I don't. Do you know why? Because we get so much of this Mark 1 raid tokens that you get it quick. You get it quick. So even though I'm like, for me, there's not much for me to do because I'm pretty much like, the ones I'm waiting on are already gear 12. So, or gear 11, they're just waiting for their shards or their stuff. But if it's not that you're in a crunch for old stuff, because you have enough stuff with raid income that you'll be able to get these gear levels pretty quickly. Like, even if you have nothing, as long as you have raid income, then you'll get your stuff. So you may say you're in a crunch, but you'll get there, and it's super quick and it's worth it. It's like every couple days we get raid income, so, and you get it quickly. So I would do it personally. I would get them up and running. I don't think there's any reason not to. All right, so fleets, your fleets are, it looks like mostly Lightspeed bundles is what you've got up. At least you got your pilotless ships. Farm all your ships, like farm everything. Man, the TIE bomber you don't even have invested in. That's wild. So a lot here on the table. If you throw Executor on defense, you probably hold, and you don't have much else on offense. You have a Negotiator, but your Galactic Republic is not fully fleshed out. So I think you get Rex in the bundle, right? You don't even have Rex ship. You don't even have Rex ship. This is wild. Wild. So finish Rex's ship. Rex's ship is important for the counter. Like I was just talking about, you need Rex's ship because the starting is Umbaran, Starfighter, Marauder, Rex's ship, and then you use Anakin, Ahsoka, Plo Koon, and that's the counter. You know what I mean? You feel me, dog? So you do use which you probably have, the Ebon Hawk, but Rex's ship is important right now. So get Rex if you're gonna buy. I think Rex comes in the bundle, so you'll be fine there. But you need to get Rex. Sexy Rexy. You're eyeing Leviathan. I don't think you're at a place where you should be getting Leviathan right now. Like, you can start prepping for it, and it's a great ship, but I think there's some things that you should prioritize first, which is finish Bo-Katan Mandalore, finish your raid income to where you're comfortable with whatever your guild wants, and then at that point you can go for Leviathan after you get those two things. But I would still say there's a lot on the table here. And yeah, that's Leviathan isn't bad. You can go for Leviathan. But there's a lot here that you just have that's really strong. Sith, Terra Malicos, even Cap. So, but I would focus Raid, Bo-Katan Mandalore, and then Leviathan. Because your ships right now is fine with Executor. You have an R9 Executor, you have higher relics on your team. Like, this is a strong team right here. Relic 8, Relic 7, Relic 8, Relic 7. This is a very strong fleet. So you don't need to prioritize Leviathan right now because you're probably getting decent, if not first, every day based off your Executor. So I would say, and you can, for even if you start seeing Leviathans all the time, your Executor is going to dunk on Leviathans on offense. So just go ahead, finish the raids, and finish Bo-Katan Mandalore, then you can go into Leviathan if you want. Look at your speeds. 340 is your fastest non-GL. Jar Jar's pretty fast. 337. Mr. Yar Yar Binks. Your SOKR is slow at 562. The health and damage is okay. It's just a little slow. That's a good one, even though it has a little low. This is not a great one, even though it has health. This is not what you want for SOKR. There's a lot of characters that would like this, not SOKR. Like you can find a better one for this. I would rather have more speed here, like 9-10 more speed than that health. Same thing here. Like, this is a good mod, just not for SOKR. So this one and this one. And while they have great secondary stats, just not for SOKR. Yeah, so the problem is at 562 you're gonna have Leias that are faster than you, and if you ever want to use SOKR to beat Leia, you have to get in front of Drogon. So if she goes first, she's gonna hide Drogon, and then you're effed. Like, they're just gonna bend SOKR over backwards, and then they're gonna go to Pound Town on him, and you know, he's just gonna be like, more, because there's nothing he can do, you know? He's just gonna have to take it and enjoy it. So all I'm saying is there's a reason to have a fast SOKR. It's not just because you want more turns. It's because you need to get it in front of every single Leia you've ever faced if you're using him to counter layer, which is pretty often. It happens sometimes. So I would just get him a little faster. Yeah, you know, this is a little slow. A little low in potency, but it's okay. He's not R9, so he's not really going to be doing anything great, but he's okay. This is okay. Decent tenacity, decent speed, decent health, so yeah, this is fine. Yeah, your Ray's good. No problems with your Ray. I don't remember what all these Omicrons do. Territory wars? Yeah, I guess. Radis just sitting here. Yeah, so that's what I would work on. Raids. Start farming your Bad Batch. Get your... Don't place Omicrons for TB unless it's like a full R9 team and you're going to use them in every phase. Or it helps you with some special thing that you can't do. I know like Egnard's does it if he can like auto, but he has really high relics, and same thing, it's gonna allow him to auto for 6 days, which is worth it for him because we do it every 2 weeks. So you know, 6 days of autoing, you know, it really adds up over time. So if you're doing that, then yeah, live your life. But if you're just doing it to get an extra team for TB, sooner or later you're gonna get all the GLs, and then all those Omicrons for like crappy teams are just gonna like sit there because you won't even need them. So just something to think about. If you're planning on taking them to R9 for for their assault battle, and then you're going to use them all the way up, then that's good. But honestly, most people don't even do the pathway for dark side for a lot of reasons. One, like fleets, it doesn't have fleet nodes, and two, like the Dathomir sucks. There's a lot of reasons. So mostly fleets, I imagine. So not a lot of people go very high in dark side. So even my guild, 42, we do not go that high in dark side. I'm sure like the higher end guilds probably do, because they need to maximize their stars, and you know there's only so many stars on the board. But we get 42 and we don't go very high in dark side, mainly because of the fleet nodes, because the fleet nodes are a lot of GP or a lot of points when you start factoring in like 50 people doing them, where normal nodes just aren't as influential. Because it's like, as far as points go, it's platoons is key, deployments is second. So those are the two most important things, platoons and deployments. After that, fleets, and then after that is some of the missions have higher income than others, and then combat missions after that. So something to think about. Yeah. Was there any specific, do you only auto and TB? I used to play it out, but yeah, I mostly auto. You got to do what you got to do. So got to just press auto and kind of live on. I still haven't finished all my TB for today. I'll probably do it later. Yeah. Any last questions or any questions before I move on? Sauron. I think Leia would be good for your account though. Do your Datacrons. Yeah, it's okay. Captain? Yeah, Captain's doing well. Doing okay. Hanging in there. And does anyone buy May the 4th Ascension? Oh, okay, it's this one. Did anyone buy this one? Conquest Ascension? There's a guy in my my guild. So he like finished Conquest on the second day. I'm sure the only way is if he bought this. Like he 100% bought this, because there's no way I mean, he red boxed. Like he red boxed Conquest on the second day. It was nuts. I don't know how he did it, other than even if I bought this, I would struggle to red box on the first day, because you still have to factor in fatigue and like getting all the, you know, the feats and everything. Did it. Nuts. Probably should stream it or something. During triple awards? Really? You bought everything? This one's expensive. It's like $100 for all these. Hey, Pixter. Thanks. Yeah, my day's pretty good. It's Friday. It's weekend. I have a job, but I won't have to go back until Monday. So I do think it's the Conquest Ascension, and then probably, I don't know how many. He's kind of like, you know, an annoying guy, like a big old penis, you know, like the dude's a dick. So he won't explain anything, you know what I mean? Because he's just an asshole. So it's just the type of guy he is. So I don't know, like I just have assumptions of how he did it, because he's not the type of guy to be like, yeah, this is how I did it. He's the type of guy to be like, yeah, suck my dick, everyone, I'm done. You know, like, this is how he is. So all right, let's get a wheel. interact with this real quick. Oops, do this. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. That. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that works. Yeah, so I just do the normal 50 refreshes. I don't go anywhere crazy with it. Hey, Caleb Wheeler. Look at that. Mr. Wheeler himself. Let's see what's the timestamp on here. Good for him. He's here a lot. How am I going to use Tarkin outside of Lord Vader clones? You don't use Tarkin outside of Lord Vader clones. I use him as a capital ship pilot. I'll probably use them in 3s. I'll use him as the lead for the raid. That's it. Like, but I have Lord Vader. If you have Lord Vader, I did think if you took the team on offense, right? There may be a time where the clones and Tarkin might be strong enough to take out something, and you can split like Lord Vader and the clones, just like you would do for C and Bane. So there's a world where I could see, even in 5s, where you take Lord Vader and clean up something or do something with him on offense solo, and then you use Tarkin clones for something else because they're still really strong. Possibly, if you had to like maximize your roster and really like stretch it, because there's a lot of players that just don't have everything, or they're struggling with how many teams they have, and if they got Vader and Tarkin and the clones because they buy Lightspeed bundles and they bought the latest thing because they're mini whales coming on up in the world, then and you for whatever reason don't want to put it on defense, then I can see throwing that on offense. I will say, for me to beat Lord Vader clones on defense in 3s, I actually did Lord Vader Bane. That's what I used in 3s. You can use, where is it? Seer Junda. Seer Terra Malicos Star Killer can do it, but it's not as reliable. It was like something in the 60% for wins. So, more than likely, like more often than not, you'll be able to clear it. But the Lord Vader Bane variant was very strong, and that was able to kill the clones and pretty much get max banners. So Palp Mara Jade. Oh, Palp Mara. Are you talking about in 5s or 3s? In 3s, he's gonna lead his own team. So in 3s, Tarkin has a I obviously don't have the Zetas on him yet, but in 3s, he has this one. While in 3v3 Grand Arenas and all other allies are Darkside Clone Troopers, so he's going to have this ability. So otherwise, like, his stuff isn't that great unless he has the stuff. I guess this stuff is good. Like, it's a little bit better, but I don't know. All his stuff has callouts for Darkside Clone Troopers, but I wouldn't use him outside of Darkside Clone Troopers. That's it. Like, all his kit is fed with Darkside Clone Troopers, pretty much. So that's what I would either use him in 3s, and then he's probably going on the bench when he's in 5s. That's it. Like, cause once I get my Darkside Clone Troopers up and running, because they're still like gear 11 for the most part. Like, yeah. So once I get them up and running, I'm going to use them with Lord Vader in 5s, and in 3s, I'll invest fully in Tarkin, remod him, and then I'll throw in 3s. I think it's like Tarkin. I don't know if it's like supposed to be CX2 and Scorch. I know Scorch goes with Tarkin. I don't know who the other one was. It might be called out in his Omicron. Stealth for 2 turns. Tank. Yeah, so Scorch. He has call outs for Storage. Yeah, so I'm assuming Scorch and maybe Disguise Clone Trooper? Am I doing free roster reviews? So you can submit for a free roster review here in my Discord. So that's where you submit for them. If you submit in my Discord, then you get on the wheel. But just keep in mind, this is the wheel. So you can get on the wheel, just submit your Discord for that. And then I spin the wheel, and then if you get hit on the wheel, then you get your review. But I don't know. I don't know what teams. Probably Clone Trooper, Scorch, and then CX2 Oppo will go with Darth Vader. I know he is like a 3v3 Omicron, right? Yeah, so this one has to pair with Oppo. So my assumption would be CX2 Oppo with Lord Vader, and then Tarkin with Disguise Clone Trooper and Scorch. An amazing wheel, of course. It's okay. Okay. It gets the job done. It does the job. But that's what I think we'll do. In 5s, if you don't have Lord Vader, then you use Tarkin, and that's it. And then you'll use Tarkin for the raid. So everyone will probably get him up and running for Zetas and Omicron and everything for the raid. Omicron just to use them in 3s. So the way that they plan this out is actually pretty smart. So Tarkin, it's 6 of them, so 3v3. You make 2 teams, and it seems like they'll be strong. I could see them having a use in 3v3 as well. So I don't think there's any waste here. All right, Mr. Caleb Wheeler. Mr. Wheeler. Where you at? Where are you at? Okay, here it is. All right, let me adjust the time. The timestamp, because I kind of rambled for a few minutes. All right, so we have Mr. Coin 911. All right, I can dig it. The Fedcom Brotherhood, 6.6 million GP, 3.8 in characters, 2.7 in ships. 2 years played. Pretty interesting. Free to play or very low spending. This is very lean, right? Yeah, this is super lean. All right, I'll say this. They're doing a great job, right? Very great job at building their account. I question their farming of shards, unless they're just like not activating them or not upgrading them. Because when you farming should be like an onion, right? So you can farm every shard in this game. Like, I've only been playing for 3.5 years. Every shard in this game is farmed, except for the new characters. And even I only have 2 characters that are not Cantina, like 2 hard node characters that are the last two Bad Batch ones that I have left to farm. Ogres are like an onion. So I only have Wrecker Mercenary and Crosshair Scarred. That's the only 2 hard nodes I have left in the game. Because you can farm every shard in the game, believe it or not. Even though it takes, what, like 3 months for an accelerated farm and 6 months for an unaccelerated farm, believe it or not, if you farm all your shards, if you farm all the hard nodes, then you can farm every character in the game. So this guy leaves. All right, So first and foremost, Master Qui-Gon Padawan Obi-Wan needs to be farmed. And then your Galactic Republic, there's a lot here. But your Galactic Republic, very lacking. Very, very lacking. You're gonna have to farm your Bad Batch because you don't have Empire farmed. You don't have these guys farmed. So you have to farm for the raids. You have to farm for the raids. So you need to farm Bad Batch. So start farming Bad Batch. Farm their shards. You can get that whole team up and running fastest. Even R5 would be fine. And then once you finish them, then you can start working on the other clones. Because if you want raid participation and you want Get 3, you're going to have to participate in the raid. I don't know any guilds that's going to accept someone bringing in like less than 1 million. Like if you have almost no participation, and all these old characters probably aren't going to cut it. Like it doesn't seem like there's much for the raids. Like your Jedi Vanguard is probably the closest we're gonna get for like a jank team that may get some participation, and it might do okay if they get like specific callouts. But right now you don't have anything. Like you got literally nothing. You got one guy. That one guy is not gonna while he's good, if he's in the raid, he's not gonna cut it. He's not gonna give you the participation. So right now we have Jedi Vanguard, we have Dark Side Clone Troopers, we have Bad Batch, and then we have Pirates. You are not prepared. If you had 50 of you in this upcoming raid, you would get 0 participation. Yeah, new Bad Batch. So what that tells me is even though you have a very lean account, 6.6 million, 5 good GLs, Executor newly unlocked, there's a lot that you are leaving on the table. And I would say you should focus on things like your Galactic Republic fleet is in shambles, absolute shambles. For how long you've been playing, this is unacceptable level of playing. And sooner or later you'll farm JMK, and that'll get your Malevolence and Negotiator like up to snuff if you invest in the rest of the fleet. But this is not good. Even with your bounty hunters, where's the wheel? Is it safe? The wheel's right here. It's safe. So how do you submit for the wheel? Is that what you're asking? So you have to go to my Discord. You go to my Discord and you submit here. This is how you get your free roster reviews and Captain Roster reviews and number 2. So even this fleet needs work. Like a Gear 12 Xanadu Blood is not strong enough. It's not good enough. It just is not. A 6-star Punishing one finished that 7-star. So this is unacceptable. So get Cad Bane, at least Relic 5 minimum. Like minimum, farm all your ships, even your Galactic Republic. Every single ship in the game, farm them. So, and then work on one fleet at a time. I don't know what you're doing with your fleet currency, because you've been playing for 2 years and you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 capital ships that are max level. I don't have that command on YouTube. You'd have to be on Twitch. I'm pretty sure it's in the description of the video though, is the Discord link. So yeah, you need to work on your ships too. You can't just let them rot there. So work on one fleet at a time. Like fleets should always be a side farm, like always. Like you don't leave fleets to kind of rot, and they have separate currencies, you know, the prestige, ship omegas, ship credits, all this stuff is a separate currency that you farm, so you have it. So invest those currencies into one fleet at a time and max them out. Farm at least 2 hard node ships at a time. If they're in shipments, farm them out of shipments. There's no excuse not to have all this stuff done at how much time played you have. So a lot of your lack of GP, a lot of it is probably your fleets. Yeah, see 2.7 million in fleets. So even though you've been playing for 2 years, it's not a lot. It's not a lot. Like 5 GLs, that's great. It's great. You have R8 on SLKR, R9 on Leia, R9 on JML. I think you could do better overall in ensuring that you farm you have your farms done. You're farming all your shards, and then you farm your ships. Riva, Relic 5. I would at least Relic 7 the team. It's a good team. Same thing, like Crescent and Relic 5 is a little low. Bush is probably Relic 5 if I had to guess. Yeah, Relic 5 is not enough for Crescent and Bush. Like R7 minimum, I would say. Same thing, Third Sister. She rates like R7. Your Star Killer is probably R5 if you have Star Killer, if I had to guess, which is just pretty low. You don't even have them. Okay. Yeah, you don't have Mara Jade. So, a lot on the table. What you really do need is the Poncho Bros, though. Not having Master Qui-Gon, Padawan, or B1, that's killer. That's so much currency you've just left on the floor. And you need to fix it now. Like, you really do. So get these 2 up and running, R7 minimum, as soon as you can. This long, there's no reason. There's absolutely no reason. They're such good characters, but the income you get from their assault battle is just like amazing, and you need it. So I would say start getting that as soon as you can. Side farm these guys if you can. It doesn't have to be a high priority, but even getting these guys to Relic 7 and those to Relic 7 is really great. Obviously, I would prioritize raid first, then assault battles, then you can kind of move on to whatever. I would fix your fleets. Your Galactic Republic fleet is really good. The Empire fleets are really good. The Profundity is really great. I don't think you're anywhere close to the Leviathan, and I wouldn't even put that in your mind right now. But one fleet at a time. Fix, like, those 2 assault battles need to be finished, and then you need to start preparing for raids because you're not prepared whatsoever. What I would say. Hey Asher, how's it going? Let's look at your mods. This is your fastest? Oh no. Okay. 589, that's blazing fast. Not bad. Not bad at all. Crit damage, triangle, good damage. So yeah, this is a decently modded SLKR. I like it. Man, that's a ton of health on your Leia. So you have good mods, at least on your GLs. Excellent. 548's really slow, but I think the health is good. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, they did. It is what it is. 164. Good mods overall on your GLs, so that's good. Decent. A little low on health, but that's fine. IG and IG12 356. You don't need to have a ridiculously blazing fast IG12. Like, yeah, over 300 is good, but I don't think he should be the fastest character in your account. 260. Your Bo-Katan Mandalore is really slow. Yeah, these are super subpar. I have an offense primary on her. Alright. Yeah, I would... I don't even know what I would do. I would probably like redistribute all those mods and just remod from the ground up, probably. Just based off that, but... Overall... you should be getting profundity soon here, then, right? Oops. Soon-ish. You should probably, if you have an R9 Radis, you should probably be going for profundity soon. Yeah, you just have to finish Cassian, and then you should get Dash Rendar up and running. But yeah, that'd be good for you. Profundity. Probably after you finish all the other things I said, so... But I would fix these relics. I'm a big fan of having minimal level relics on your account, but usually minimal level relics is like R7ing your most important characters on the team. So yeah. Why? What? Why? Oh. What is this? What is this? Why? 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 Throw those mods on Treya. Jeez. Throw those mods on Treya or something. Like, that's unnecessary. That's so unnecessary. I would take those mods and throw them on Treya or someone, or even Ezreal if you have him. He was, but I'm talking about the speed. 300 speed, like you're wasting these mods. Wasting them. This is good mods. It's excellent mods. Health. This is like a perfect... He has to be saving this for a character that's like about to be relic or something. There's no way. There's no way. I would throw Zeta on Wat Tambor. There's no way. You have to be like building something, and that's gonna be the set for it. But not a lot of characters want, like, that'd be perfect mods for Great Mother or Moff Gideon or something. Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. I would change that. So a new account. So you need 3 sets. So speed, offense, and health is the 3 that I would focus on. Believe it or not, that's all I farm right now. Speed, offense, and health. Because you can mod like 90% of your characters with those 3. That's it. So it's not going to be perfect. Some characters want crit damage. Some characters want, crit chance or tenacity or potency or whatever. But speed, offense, and health are going to be able to get you like almost there. The rest I farm like potency and tenacity and crit chance and all that stuff. I just farm in here. Like I buy, if I see a mod that has decent stats, and you can get whatever you need. So yeah, but especially for new players, I would focus on those sets. I'm probably going to start farming some potency ones, just because I need potency for Tarkin. I don't know if we're going to want a full potency set on him or a speed and potency. I'll probably go speed and potency because it'll be a little easier for me. And then I need to farm some potency, especially for like sooner or later I need to get Afra up and running. And I just don't have enough 6 dot potency mods here for her. I have them, but and they're good, but they're on characters that I wouldn't want to like rip them off. So it's like almost every one of these characters are more important. Like that's crap, but yeah. Know what I mean? So the reason I say farm health mods instead of defense mods, because believe it or not, I'm a fan of defense mods. I have defense mods. I use defense mods. A lot of my GLs have defense mobs. So if you see my JMK, he has defense mobs on. If you see my SLKR, he has defense mods on. But, which is irregular, that's not the normal way you mod them. You don't put defense mods, or you don't farm defense mods, because the vast majority of characters that want a defense or want a health or defense set, a lot of times characters have in their kits where they need health. So you need a lot of characters that need health primaries because of their kits and what health does, like for either for damage or survivability. Like C needs all health, Leia needs pretty much health, Ahsoka Tano, you can use defensive sets because she ramps her offense based on her defense, but like General Grievous needs health, Wampa needs health, Malgus needs health, Darth Bane needs health. Like all these characters need health sets. Seer Junda, Kelleran Beck, like they all, Padme. So a lot of times the kit themselves, Paz Vizsla, they all need health in their kits, and it cannot be substituted for defense sets. So you could always substitute a defense set with a health set. You cannot always substitute a health set with a defense set, and you need a lot of them. So start early and to farm. And some people will say, oh, I don't farm health sets because the game gives you so many of them, but they've probably been playing for forever. You need health sets. Third Sister needs a health set with and a lot of times characters do true damage too. So if you're doing true damage, then defense doesn't do anything. It's just how much health and protection you have. Or if they hit under protection, then it's about how much health you have. So, and that's effectively cutting a lot of what the defense does. So, but don't get me wrong, like defense sets are good, and overall it gives more survivability, like effective health. It gives more effective health. Same thing Starkiller. Starkiller wants health sets because it, Will I be doing all the people on the wheel? Brother. I don't know how many that's it. It's over 100. Brother. Here, let's see. What's the number right now? There's 167 people on the wheel. No. No, I will not be doing all the people on the wheel. No, I would not. Caleb Wheeler. Jeez, man. That's nuts. Wild. Absolutely wild. No. No, I would not. No, I haven't updated it since you probably requested. Amaratsu. Yeah, I did not. When I do my next spin, but let's see. What's your name? Rayman Zeta Function. Yeah. Oh no. No. What is this thing? I gotta figure out my Google Docs. Either way, no. Hail to the na na na. No, I do about like 2 spins every review if I can. Yeah, 167 reviews. I don't even know how long that would take me. 167 hours. Maybe half. Let's say like 80 hours. So if I stream full time, become a full-time streamer, I can knock out that list in 2 weeks. Maybe. Yeah, that was wild. But it reminds me of what do you call it? Star Wars Dad, when he did all those free ones, previews. So, could it be you one time? Yeah, it could be anyone. That's the glory of the wheel. It could be anyone. It could even be you. Yeah. The wheel is impartial. Well, it can't be you. Yeah, well, if you're not on the wheel, it can't be you. But if you're on the wheel, it could be you. You just unlocked Ben Solo and Ezra. I would probably do Ben first and then Ezra. Both are good, but you need Ben for Rey. Because if you don't have Ben, you just kill Rey. Like, you just straight up just kill her. Okay, no Ben, kill Rey. Even Ezra won't stop that. So you need Ben. The difficulty of that is you have like, by the time you kill Rey, get her into damage immunity, you have to get Ben into damage immunity once Rey's under half to kill him, under half health. So, you know, it's like, it adds that level of complexity. And then Ezra adds that level of complexity because he could just like heal him up, and then he like forces a taunt and he evades a lot. So, and he also does healing immunity, and Ben does healing immunity. So it has really good synergy. But without Ben, then it's still good. Like, he's still good. But I would, if it was me, I would get Ben up and running, at least Relic 3, and then get Ezra. It shouldn't take you that long. You got to work on your raid stuff too, though. Yeah. So, yeah, man. I'm not, I don't want to, honestly, I don't want to comment on your farming plan right now. Why did my game restart? All right, all right. Oh, my game's restarting. Oh. Yeah, but your farming plan looks fine. Frederick. Looks suitable. Cool. Alright, let's get one. Interact with this wheel. Interaction. Before I do this, actually. So I was thinking about today what I want my streaming career to be. You know what I mean? Like, what do I want to do moving forward with streaming? Like, do I cut back a little more, a little less? Because I can't stream as much as I did before. Like, it's too much. I can't make daily videos. And it just seems like a lot of what I wanted to do, I accomplished, which was I wanted to make guides for like assault battles. I wanted to do my like farming guides. I've done all of them. So if you want to know how I spent all my currencies, they're in my guides. You want to know how I did all my assault battles, they're in my guides. You want to know my farming philosophy? I have a guide for that. You want to know how I unlocked all my stuff? Like, I have guides for that. So at this point, I just don't know what more I want to do farming wise or guide wise, or even like streaming wise. Do I just stream once a week for roster reviews? You know, I still, believe it or not, I'm still like, I do have my full-time job and I'm still a graduate school student. So I need to start my MBA classes and keep those going. Redoing my, why would I read, if you don't mind me asking, why would you want to redo the hierarchy of needs? Like, what the reason I did my hierarchy of needs is because it, like, there's some points I could probably change on it, but my hierarchy of needs is flexible. If anything, I would change the first GL and first GL ship to Jabba and Executor, but it's a philosophy of farming, because right now you can go to my hierarchy of needs and it would tell you like, hey, you need to prepare for the raid. Like, that's what you need to do. And then you go in and then you're like, okay, are you still getting good fleet currency? Do you have to change that fleet? Then farm a new fleet. So when the profundity gets its lifter and all these executors start getting dunked on and may not counter the profundity, and you'll need the Leviathan, or because the mirror sucks maybe, then maybe everyone will be like, okay, now I need to farm the Leviathan to secure my fleet placement, because now it's like a bunch of profundities that are stronger than executors or something, you know. And then you can change and adjust on the hierarchy what your farming priority should be. But it's always like raid currency, raid income, guild income, fleet crystals, first GL ship, then assault battles, and then you kind of flip-flop from like GL ship to assault battle, and then you do those until you finish them, and then you go into whatever your account specialization is. And the account specialization kind of flows with the GLs and GL ships, and the assault battles to like TB income. If anything, I could probably add in that, where like Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, Bo-Katan Mandalore should be in the same tier as assault battles. I don't know yet, Asher. So we have to get to the raid to figure out like what's in it first, because if there's like a 2 or 3 man team that at R9 that can get me like 3.6 million, maybe I'll do that. You know, if like Jocasta Nu and, you know, I'm a Gundai because he has callouts can get 3.6 million, then I'll probably R9 I'm a Gundai and Jocasta Nu to get 3.6 million. And so we don't know until the raid is here on what's in it and what's good. So what I'm aiming for right now is R7 across the board. So R7 Darkside Clones, R7 Jedi Vanguard, whatever is the most functional team, R7 for Bad Batch. And then from there, we'll see what ends up being fleshed out as the best. So that's my first goal, is just R7 everything, and like kind of take up whatever is makes sense. If I can get 8.3 million participation with all R7 teams, like 5 R7 teams, then I'll do that. But if all the teams, like there is no 5th one because they don't have the pirate faction yet and they're releasing it late, then I don't know. I don't know what we can do, but you can get 9 million if you have 5 teams at 1.7. All right, heads and fells, I'll see you later. Glad I was able to keep you company on your walk. So yeah, so I'm just kind of thinking what I can do or what I want to do content wise, because if I really wanted to like double down on content creation, what I would probably do is make a free-to-play account and then start making guides again out of free-to-play, and then like double down on like free-to-play, and then also stream GACs and continue doing roster reviews. If I was like, if I had 100% the time and I wanted to like double down, that's what I would think the next progression of what I can do. But where my account is at 11.9 million, I'm pretty much at end game. I don't have like, because as I was like climbing up, I was like, okay, I'm getting this new content, let's make a guide on it, or I'm doing this new content, or whatever. And at this point, there's not much new content for me, you know what I mean? Like, what am I farming? I'm farming the new stuff, you know, like I'm farming new things, that's it. And I'm just waiting on shards, that's it. Like I'm gonna get these guys up, and then I'm gonna get this up, and then I'm gonna get Vanguard up, and that's gonna probably take me a few months just for these guys. There's not much that's gonna be changing. Like side farms, I'll probably finish like Balin and Luthen. Maybe I'll probably wait for like DTMG and Trench to come out in a Lightspeed bundle. Maybe get Afra up, but Afra's kind of mid. So, you know, Gungans, I'm pretty much ready for Gungans. So, you know, it's like, what do you do? What do you do for content in a game like this? So I don't know. I've been thinking about it. Kind of did what I wanted to do as far as content creation wise. Afra is mid. He's mid. Kaiser. Mr. Sandflies. You guys are just waiting. You guys are just waiting. Waiting in the... I'll say this. If you have like a well-modded Afra at R8, she's very useful. Like, don't get me wrong. It's just a very heavy investment for what you would need and what it can do. And Jabba has a lot of counters right now. So yeah, she counters Jabba. She can counter a lot of different things. But I think for what is available out there, it's a pretty heavy investment. And compared to her contemporaries, it's just, she's not as good. So like a Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, even Star Killer, or, you know, Bo-Katan Mandalore, something that has similar-ish cost, it's just not as good. And even in 5s, to be reliable, you need to steal, because it's still like an 80% win or something in 5s if you have B2 in there. So if you take B2 and you put B2 on the team, then yeah, it's a very reliable Jabba counter. I just think there's a lot of Jabba counters out there. I don't know. Compared to what you like could be invested in or farmed. Even for me. Like if they didn't add Bad Batch to the raids right now, I would be going all in on Balin and Great Mothers. Well, the first, to be fair, it's a combat, like it just gives you points, right? So the first one is useless. Same thing as the Mace one, like completely useless, because it doesn't give you like extra rewards. It just gives you territory points, and that's territory points in like this phase. Like people don't even need to deploy to max out this phase. I didn't even deploy these phases. I just I did this one right here. I got my event tokens, and then I forgot to do the rest, and my guild got 9 stars. And I'm sure that's how it is for a lot of people, because to max out this one, you don't need much, and like guilds can do it very, very easily. It's not a lot of GP that's required to get 9. So that one's useless. I don't know what's this other one she does. What other one does Afra get? Is it in here? That's Bo-Katan, sorry. Climbing up. That's not Afra. Is it another combat mission? Just a normal one that just requires her? Dathomir? Oh, Dathomir is the worst. All right, that's Marin. So it's just a combat mission with Dathomir. Dr. Afra. Yeah, so it's just I don't think this is moving the needle for anyone. I don't think 341 territory points for Dathomir is gonna like make or break the bank, or it's necessary. So things that I do think are necessary, like if you don't have them, Inquisitors, or Bo-Katan Mandalore, or Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, of course. Also clone troopers, like having your clone troopers for this guild event tokens, having your Night Sisters for guild event tokens, you know. So if it's like additive guild event token stuff, then yeah, like Inquisitors for guild event tokens, yeah, that's great, extra currencies. But I don't think combat missions, unless they're, you know, really up in these 8th or 9th tier ones, are really gonna make a big deal or a big difference. 17 million for the complete guild. Yeah, so yeah, I get what you're saying, but 17 million still isn't a lot. Like, believe it, and it's nice for, you know, minuscule amounts, but I don't think that moves the needle anywhere. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I do know. I don't think it does. I don't think it's really like influential in any way, shape, or form. You know, like these platoons where you get like 85 million for doing all of them. Yeah. But these are, how much are these platoons? 20 or something? Yeah, 18 million. So, you know. You missed a star on 100k? Really? Did you guys not deploy, or like someone took a break or something, or wasn't there? We got 2 stars here because my guild leaders were, I don't know, I'm pretty sure they're incompetent. Incompetency is all I can say. Incompetency. So they somehow, I don't know how they did. They didn't even explain it very well, but I'm pretty sure somehow like they finished a platoon early for whatever reason, because they're incompetent, and then we ended up like recovering a star still when we were supposed to like just preload it to just under the star. I don't know. So we lost a star here, so we'll probably only get like 41 stars or something this time around, but it is what it is. Hey, Hot. Yeah, everything's going great. Alright, 5. But yeah, that's just something I'm thinking about, what I want to do. I will say, playing 2 accounts, I do think, and I agree with someone who said it, Don Sensi, like creating a new account every 6 months. I don't know every 6 months, but I do think having a free-to-play account really is important for growing an account for a streamer. I really do. If you look at all the, like, and a lot of people, even the top streamers have seen it. So if you look at who did it, I think Scribe made one. Who else did it? Like, of course, it's like the bread and the meat and potatoes for Star Wars Dad. But who else made a new one? What was his name? I forgot. I don't really watch his stuff all that much, but there's a lot of streamers, and just because there's a lot more new to play or free to play players out there that watch content, they may not be as verbal or involved, but they just watch the content on YouTube. Maybe Sandflies. So last 5v5s I didn't really take. It was during my 3-month break. So I really didn't take Grand Arena that serious over the last 3 months. But yeah, I do think having because honestly, if I was looking to improve my Grand Arena, I think there's some things that I should farm that would easily help me. Like 1 Gungans, Luthen, Great Mothers, and what do you call it? So the like things that I wouldn't say Afra, but Luthen, Great Mothers would be extremely beneficial to my account, and Balin. So Balin, Luthen, Great Mothers would be huge. I would like to have DTMG on defense. Yeah, and then Afra would be nice. Honestly, I wouldn't trust my Afra unless, and I do not have the mods for her either. So that's another reason I haven't really farmed her, is I just don't have enough potency mods for her. So I'm gonna start upgrading our farming potency mods. I was just talking about that, so I can start getting ready for Afra and then Tarkin. So that's another big reason. So it's not just because I think she's not useful. I do think that, like, I have her, I could easily gear her up. Same thing, I could easily gear up Great Mothers or Morgan or whatever, Luthen, Saul, all great things that would help me in Grand Arena that pretty much I could do right away. But I can't get a great Afra right away because my account just doesn't have the mods ready for her. So I think I'm gonna stop farming. Yeah, so I think I just have to stop farm. I just don't, again, like, I've been able to buy out of the shop pretty much what I need for potency, but I'm gonna need to just build a whole set, and I have some that are like, okay, maybe. What is this? Oh man, this is a real crap mod. Oh man, that's a horrible mod. I don't even know why this is in my account. Here, let's see. That's how much I look at my Afra. Ugh, that's not good. A Marin mod? No, Marin mods have 0 speeds on them. I could take like something like this. Doesn't have any potency on it. Like this maybe would be my. This one's okay. This one's okay. No potency there. Sort by potency. And I don't care too much to like get this character up and running because I don't use her. I don't plan on using her for a while. So yeah, I just have to farm more mods. I don't know. Well, yeah, this one, yeah, I think this one was a potential Marin mod. Obviously it has health in it, so that's probably why I didn't do anything with it. And I probably just threw it on Afra as a placeholder because I knew I wasn't going to use her. But yeah, I think it's locked because it was originally a potential, good eye on that one. Yeah, I think it was a potential Marin one, but I didn't like it because of the health. So I want to minimize health as much as possible on her. So I ended up going with this one, which has tenacity, protection, and potency on Marin. This is an okay one. It could be better, but I don't want to like use my slicing materials on something like this. But literally anything that hits here that's not defense would be, and I haven't calibrated it, so I could take this one to the moon and calibrate out flat defense and make it better, but don't really need it. But yeah, but Sandflies, a lot of times too, why I'm using SOKR on Java is the counters, like it's like a puzzle piece, right? So a lot of times I didn't need SOKR for anything else, kind of, and I guess I could put a better defense down because my defense isn't great. I haven't even looked at my 5v5 defense, to be honest. I think I could get my 5v5 defense to be a lot better. I have not done anything with this yet. Yeah, my 5v5 defense is not very good. Last thing I updated was my 3v3 defense, which was, it's okay. It's not bad. It definitely could be a lot better, but I would like to have, yeah, but a lot of this stuff is Datacron dependent. Now, I think the greatest weakness in my account compared to like why I'm higher Kyber 2 instead of Kyber 1, I think is my Datacrons. If I really wanted to go and be a higher contender in Grand Arena, like if I wanted to take it more serious, it would be this. Like I just don't farm enough Datacrons, and I think that would be a huge difference of what, because a lot of these are off meta counters. Like you use a lot of, you watch like Xerath Prevails or something, like he throws a lot of his GLs on defense, and he uses these like Datacron boosted teams on either defense or offense, and it really does make a huge difference, because at the top of the game there's like, you know, there's only certain counters for certain things, and you have to and if you have a team that's like mid and then you have a Datacron for them, like you know, Afra's Datacron right now is like fantastic. So yeah, right now Afra is like a super reliable Jabba counter because she has her Datacron, and that is big. So a lot of that stuff, if you have all those Datacrons and you farm like all the level 9s, then yeah, you'll have a much better like depth and height in your account. And I just don't do it. Like, I don't know, I just don't think the difference of income of Kyber 1 and Kyber 2 is that big of a deal for me. And I don't even stream Grand Arena, so you know, I just haven't put much effort into it, if that makes sense. But I don't know, maybe I should. But committing to streaming 3 times a week is really hard for me, believe it or not. So it's just like, I don't know. And that, honestly, that's probably the biggest thing that is a struggle, is like the time commitment of doing things at certain times. Because like sometimes I have a bad day, sometimes my wife has a bad day, sometimes you know, my dog Captain has a bad day. He's like a very senior dog, you know, and he has tons of health problems at this point. So sometimes it's hard just to commit to having a set schedule, and that's why Grand Arena was so hard for me to stream, and why I stopped doing it, is because the time commitment of like committing to stream pretty much at the same time 3 times a week is too much for my schedule with everything I have. So I just don't. Wow, you're already at 10.6 million GP. I just don't have that. So that's why I like roster review streams, is because like at any time I could just jump on and be like, hey, I have an hour or 2 or 3 hours, I can jump on and stream and hang out with you guys. And that's why I do this content, is because I like the flexibility of the time. Where Grand Arenas, it's very like, I have to do it pretty much on, you know, for me it's what, Mondays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Mondays for me. And then, you know, Thursdays and Mondays is not good timing. Like I work all day, I come home late, I have to eat dinner and spend time with my wife. I have a very physically demanding job. I also have, I haven't really talked about it, but I have an autoimmune disorder now. So I have all these things. So going through them and the difficulty of managing like my work, physical fitness, health, and then committing to like set times is very difficult for me. So that's why I had to back away. I love Grand Arena. I have fun doing it, and I liked streaming the content, but it's such a difficult thing. Like I said, just being consistent with time. And I know that's huge for streaming too, is like being consistent. So I do the 30s. Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting old. 30 years old now. So, yeah. All right. So a mountain goat. SC gods of Roar? Is that it? If I had to guess. SC gods of Roar. I don't know. You had a heart attack last week? Oh man. I hope you're doing better. Eating healthy. Taking fish oil. Roar. Hey, nice. I got it. SC gods of Roar. Little wolf thing. Is it Se or SE? 340 ohms in the bank. Before I would be shocked, but I also have like 160 ohms in the bank right now, so not that shocked. The new pass really has just opened the floodgates on Omicrons, especially if you're like wailing out, then you get even more Omicrons. So yeah, 10.6 million GP, 6.6 in characters, almost 4 million in chips, a year and some change played. Nuts, dude. All right, you need to get this all. Where's her mod at? Is it did you take it for a raid or something? Damn. Good mods. Star Killer. So I'll say this. Some characters just rate higher relics, and I think Star Killer is one of them. Especially now. Raid? Okay. So Star Killer rates higher relics, I think. At least R7. Like premier characters, like key members of your team deserve R7. And especially if you have that UFU team. Do you have it? You don't have it yet. So I don't know what you're using your Star Killer for, if it's like to counter raise, but even I don't, if they have Ezra, like a normal Star Killer isn't going to cut it. So Ben Solo 2 is another one where you can like up his relics if you want, so that, because he does really good damage. Whenever, a lot of times the teams that Rey fights against, where you throw her on defense because she's mostly a defensive GL, like has a lot of control, and Ben Solo, if he starts going, then he can wreak havoc, but you pretty much just control him the whole time. Scarred would be good too. Like I still think Scarred is worth it for Kylo Ren. I still use him with SOKR. You can use him once you get Seer Junda. I think not having Jedi Knight Cal Kestis at 10.6 is not great, because you need Zepho, and you don't have, or you have Bo-Katan Mandalore. That's good. So your guild's probably carrying you in Zepho. But I still think Jedi Knight Cal Kestis is a wonderful character. I think the Seer Unaligned Force Users is a wonderful team. So I would invest in that team once you're done with your raid prep. Like everyone right now is pretty much like getting ready for this raid, and it's hard for me to recommend anything other than the raid. So you need to get your Bad Batch up and running. Did you whale out on these clone troopers? Yeah, you did. So yeah, at least R7 minimum for these clone troopers for the raid. I'm sure you could probably, if anyone was going to go higher, and especially if they find out like, hey, you can max out the raid with like 3 clones or 2 clones in Tarkin or something, then that would be ideal to take those and take them to high relics. But if you were going to take any clones higher, or any of the teams higher than R7, it would probably be these clone troopers, because they're really good. And the what do you call it, Lord Vader alt like ramps up the more your team has relics. So I think they will always be useful at higher relics. Tarkin 2. Tarkin's always going to be a fleet commander, so his fleet's good. It's still relevant, still has some use in the end game. So all that is great stuff. Obviously finish your alt on Leia, but I would get, if I was going to, it would be that team to get R8s or R9s if you're going to go for that. Leviathan in a couple days. Haven't looked at your ships yet, but that's good. You're farming Lord Vader. I imagine you bought the pack, right? To get Lord Vader to R7. I would still finish the shards on Bad Batch. So Jocasta Nu 2, you're going to need Jocasta 2. You can kind of hold off until the new Jedi Vanguard come out. But who knows? Maybe with whatever junk that they give us with the Jedi Vanguard team and Jocasta Nu and maybe Beck or something, maybe we'll be able to build like a decent raid participation team. I just think this raid's going to be rough. So just keep that in mind. You don't have to invest in Jocasta Nu right now. I don't think she's influential on her own. Maybe when we get Mace, then she'll be like important. But until then, we get Mace and we kind of know what his kid is and how important she is. She's pretty mid, so not like highly important. I still took her to Relics just in preparation for the raid because I think I think she's going to be important. Yeah, that new Lightspeed bundle was pretty bad. Yeah, so that's pretty much what you need to do. Fix or as far as what I would do once you're done with your GLs, Leviathan, Seer unaligned force users is easy. It's good. You have all the pieces you need. You just have to get it up. And then I would recommend taking him to R7. You can leave Cal Kestis at R3. Even no Zeta is necessary. He'll do what he needs to do. He just buffs the team. He's very survivable. But R7 Terran Malicos, R7 Seer Junda, R7 Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, and then R7 Star Killer is what I would do once you get that up and running. You don't have to go for GL Soka anytime soon. I would probably save her for last, to be completely honest. She's very expensive, and even if you have Ezra Bridger, a lot of people just throw him with Rey anyways and just have GL Soka on her own. And without Ezra Bridger, GL Soka just isn't as good. She's very good in like TB and stuff and PvE, but in PvP, she's decent on defense, I guess, but it's rough and she's incredibly expensive. So I would probably save her last. I would maybe farm JMK before you farm GL Ahsoka. Would be a good one. You're gonna get Lord Vader, then you can get JMK, then you can go for GL Ahsoka as your last GL. Unfortunately, I think she's good. I just don't think for her cost, she is something you need to rush. And unfortunately, they didn't give us a reason to farm her. Like they didn't. They're GL Ahsoka and Balin Skull. They didn't give us anything. There was no raid. There's no assault battle. Like 100%. You can skip them or farm them at your leisure, and it's not going to affect you. So Jedi Knight Cal Kestis and the Seer Unaligned Force User team is good. Elevates your Jedi team, gives you, and it's just a good team. Like getting Jedi Knight Cal Kestis for JML or under any other Jedi really. And then this Cal Kestis, even using Cal Kestis in a Star Killer team elevates that Star Killer team, makes it a lot better. And then once you get Terran Malicos, that Seer Unaligned Force User team is ridiculous, especially if you add Star Killer in it. So you will never regret getting this guy up and running. Like if anything, he's one of the funnest characters in Grand Arena for me. Like you just throw rocks and you kill people. Like he's a monster, an absolute menace. Even if I'm not using him to be a GL, like the team pretty much beats anything else. So Luthen too. Luthen's really good. Luthen and Saw. So if you're looking for like a quick side farm once you finish the Seer Unaligned Force User teams, like finish your GLs. But if you wanted like to take a break from GLs, then I would get your Saw Luthen up and running because that's a really good team as well. So something to think about. But that's what I would focus on for you. All right, so you have Profundity. You're going to get Leviathan. You farmed all your ships. I would still finish these, believe it or not. The reason is there's only so many ships in the game. Sooner or later, you just farm them all and you get enough credits where you will you'll break prestige and you'll max out all the prestige. You'll break ship credits and you'll max out all the level on your ships. Then you'll break ship omegas and you'll maximize all your abilities on the ships, just because there's not as many ships in the game as like ground, and they just don't release them as fast as the ground. So, but it still affects your grand arena. And if you don't have the meta fleets, or you don't have good enough fleets that you can beat your opponent, you know, or the depth or whatever, like sometimes it'll affect your grand arena. So I do think it's important one fleet at a time. So finish your Leviathan, then I would probably shore up your endurance, and then you can shore up like, I don't know, whatever, Radis or Finalizer, whatever one you want to shore up first. They're both kind of like similar in usefulness. I think, believe it or not, at this point Radis kind of like maybe is a little more important than Finalizer if you have all the fleets, because you can still throw Radis on defense, or Finalizer you wouldn't even put it on defense. Like it's a good cleanup fleet. That's it. It's pretty much all it has in it. If you didn't have anything else, they throw like triple attacker on the Executor, you can burner it and then come in with a Finalizer, and that has a use. Or otherwise, if you take out the punishing one, the Finalizer can clean it up. And if you yeah, so I don't know, it's all right. It's an all right fleet. But endurance is meta right now, so believe it or not. So endurance is important because it counters Executors with Houndstooth starting, and it counters Leviathans if you have the Marauder, which I'm pretty sure you do. So yeah, I would continue working on those. Do you? Yeah, you do. So I'd continue working on those fleets. Just flesh them out one at a time. No rush. Just finish them as you go through. It'll take time. Sooner or later, you'll max out all your fleets. It's not even a big deal. And then you'll just like save up 4,000 prestige, and then you'll start spending your other credits on other things like crappy gear to crunch up. So yeah. Yep, that's all I got for you. Any questions? Concerns? Comments? Great mothers. It's a great team. Good team. All right. Other than that, that's pretty much all the time I have. I'm gonna go eat some dinner with my wife and enjoy the rest of my evening. Maybe play a little Baldur's Gate 3 on my Steam Deck. That's what I have planned for the rest of the day. So that's gonna be fun. I just downloaded Baldur's Gate 3. I also downloaded what's that game? The Expedition 33. Yeah, no problem, Mount Goat. So I'm starting to play some of those single player games, because I haven't really did much with my Steam Deck. It just kind of like gathers dust. So I got that Expedition 33 game. That game's really good, really fun, really engaging story mode. Like really just like grabs you and sucks you in. And I hear Baldur's Gate is just fantastic. Stream more? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I will. So the reason I Expedition 33 looks, it is. The reason I have them and I'm playing them is so I can play them on my couch. You know, I can hang out with the captain or my wife and just on my Steam Deck. That's why I play them. If I was going to stream, I probably would like stream more roster reviews or content. But the reason I got those games was it's on my Steam Deck. It's a handheld, so I can sit on my couch and hang out with my dog or my wife or whatever and just play a little game. So I'm gonna do that today. That's really fun. All right, so have a wonderful evening. Let me see if someone's on, because I keep assuming no one's on, and it turns out people are actually on. So I Oh man, yeah, I can't. Can I log into Twitch? Maybe. Believe it or not, I can't. I can't log into my Twitch. Yeah, I can't. Oh man. Oh. Not on my not on my desktop. Yeah. I gotta fix it. That's horrible. The worst. Alright, I can redirect, so let's see if anyone's here. A happy fish, upcoming, upcoming, upcoming. Nope, no one live. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. This me? This guy. Nope, no one else on YouTube. I can't do it. Sorry, guys. Alright, so take care, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.